It's Mac the Guru. This is the movie review for Thor Love and Thunder. If this your first time here, subscribe, check out the other content. We do everything from movie reviews to TV shows to sports to hip-hop, everything, in between too. So check out the other content. But just got out the movies, and my conclusion is good movie, but it's time for us to lower our expectations. With the MCU, we can't think every movie gonna be a hit, because that's just not gonna happen. It never been like that, really. They had a great run around Civil War, Black Panther, Thor Ragnarok, Infinity Stones Endgame. That was just like a great run. All right, that's probably the best run of superhero movies I've ever seen. But you gotta remember, they had time to build up to that level, and we got to see everything and how everything was coming together. And on the way to building up to that level, they had misses. A good example of that would be Thor 2. That was a miss. Not saying this movie was a complete miss, but it was a cool movie. I felt the same way when I watched Doctor Strange too. Like, this is a cool movie, But since Endgame, we have got Shang-Chi, great movie in my opinion. We have got Spider-Man, great movie in my opinion, right? So they just hit and miss, right? So, and I think that's how we gonna be going forward until everything start coming together, and then you gonna go, oh, okay, we be a little bit more invested in just knowing everything and how it's coming together, and it'll be back like that run that they had. But that's gonna take a few years, to be honest, for us to get to that point again, I believe. Now, going through this movie, it was up and down for me. Scenes I really love, then scenes I said, oh God, they went a little too much over the top. The opening scene was one of those where I felt like they went over the top, and it made me think, okay, this is what I'm gonna get the rest of the movie. And then I did. It opens with Gore the God Butcher. He's in the desert. I'm like, okay. I'm trying to learn about the character. I know Christian Bale's playing him, so I'm like, okay. They got the actor. It ain't the actor. He's in the desert. He's with his daughter. They give up on trying to find, some water or anything. They just start laying down. Daughter passes away. He's about to pass away, but then all of a sudden, magically, here comes the jungle. He's like, oh, man, there go grass. And so he goes to it. I'm like, okay, cool. He goes to it, finds water and everything, like, okay. But this was the first over-the-top thing, right? So I'm cool with everything up until this, the opening scene. Up until I seen the king. When I seen the king, I said, he's so over the top. And then when he stands up, he's real big. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, they going over the top. But after that scene, after Gore's opening scene, how he became the God Butcher, they give us Thor. And I love Thor opening scene. Besides the split was over the top. The Johnny Cage split. But I love Thor opening scene besides that. And you got Thor, Guardians of the Galaxy. How they play off each other is phenomenal, right? So I'm always here for that. It's just Starlord, Thor. Because, they both powerful beings and they existing together. And both of them got egos, So it's just great watching a dynamic. But after that, great scene, we get to Jane. They show us Jane, and it's like, okay, this is what's been going on with Jane. Didn't have a big problem with that. I did like once she became Thor the first time her hammer split apart. Oh, that was cold. You just got to give it up. That was cold. How her hammer split apart and then shot back together, because, the hammer was broken up. This is just like, oh, I ain't see that coming. That was a good move. That was a good move that they did that. That was a dope action scene. But Jane character as a whole didn't really have a problem with, but it wasn't nothing super special. I just didn't have a problem with it. I know people gonna find problems with Jane character, because it is certain stuff that's there where I go, Yeah, I know some people not gonna like, but for me, cool. Then they show us New Asgard, and it was some things that I like about these other characters, some things I didn't like. All right, Valkyrie. It was times in the movie where she was just there. You know, like she ain't really got a partner. She just, she was just there. And then she not like the comic relief, like, the little rock man that be with them. I didn't forgot his name, but the little rock man that be. She not quite the comic relief like him. So sometimes she's just there. So that's how I felt about Valkyrie, and that was the first film I ever felt like that about her. Usually I like when I see her, and in this, it wasn't like she was like super strong fighting and stuff. It's just like she was just there, And I did like the element of New Asgard, what they did to it. They turned it to like a little amusement park for people and stuff. They could ride the ship and all that. So that was real cool to me seeing that. The action scenes, pretty good throughout the movie. All of the action scenes was pretty good. Besides the joking in the middle of the action scene, that's the only real thing that you could have a problem with, because that was a problem. But the actual fighting scenes, pretty good. I just didn't like all the dialogue in between it. It's just like, I just had a fight. When y'all doing the action scenes, fight, get it over with, and then you had your dialogue. They was having a lot of dialogue in between the fighting. But thought that was cool. Now, the best scene in the movie, right? Because they setting up all these younger characters, including Gore's daughter, right? They giving us all these younger characters. But one young character that had a pretty good role in the movie was Heimdall's son, right? And it didn't dawn on me that was his son until a little closer to not the end, but like the middle, right? He was like, I haven't mastered my dad's eyes yet, right? Which was dope the first time they did that with Heimdall and Thor. Now his son is doing it with him. I don't know what type of fighter he's going to grow to be, but that's a pretty unique power, so I like his power. That part of his power. Now he gonna need some other type of power. Maybe he can shoot beams from his eyes too, or something like Gore's daughter or something. If he gonna be able to contend with some of the stuff that's out there in the universe currently. Back in the day, the sword, you got the vision eyes. That's all you needed. But now the characters is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So we'll have to see what they're gonna do with the kid and his character and everything. But I like that element of it. Which leads to the best scene of the movie to me. Was when Thor gave all the kids his power. That was fire. Like, he give all the kids the power. And whatever the kids had, it was a little girl with the teddy bear. She Thor with a teddy bear. Like whatever the kids had in their hand, they Thor. With that weapon turns into the hammer. So it's like, oh, okay, this is dope. And they was able to fight off, and Heimdall's son was like leading them and stuff. So I thought that was probably one of the highlights of the movie, and that was my favorite scene of the movie. After that, we get into Gore's daughter being able to come back, right? He unlocked this realm where he gets a wish. And it's like, my only thing with this being available, like, is this like a new thing that's available, or has this been available? Because if this been available, well, why wouldn't Thanos had just did this? It's just, I don't know. If this been available, why wouldn't you get one wish? Okay, instead of doing the Infinity Stones and fighting everybody, you just fight Thor. But nevertheless, he gets his daughter back, and now Thor is raising his daughter. All right, Jane passes away too, by the way, which I was surprised that Jane passed away. I think she probably will come back later on. I think Hemdale gonna come back too. You know, they'll probably come back later on because he was in the end credit scenes too. Both of them. They went to Van Harler, so they went to like the ancestral world for Thor. But I think they might come back. But nevertheless, she passed away. So I'm like, okay. But then Gore passes away, but he gets his wish, and Thor ends up raising his daughter. His daughter got eye beams, and she gonna have the Thor hammer. So she's gonna be pretty strong in the universe, which I didn't have no problem with that. But after watching all of that, because of the over-the-topness in certain scenes and the storyline not being as strong, and then I also was let down a little bit when Thor met Zeus. I don't even think I talked about that, but Thor met Zeus, and the scene when he met Zeus was a letdown. You know, I knew it was coming based on the trailer and all that, but actually seeing the scene, it was a letdown. That whole scene was a letdown. You know, I thought I was going to be seeing other guys connected to the universe. Didn't really see that. And, you know, Thor destroyed Zeus real quick. Like, it's nothing. You know, so, and I get it. Zeus not at his strongest because he's old, he's big, fat. You know, he out of shape, similar to Thor was before this. So, I understand that. But it was just a letdown to me. And certain other elements was a letdown that I discussed earlier. But that's why I thought it was just a cool movie. The ending credit scenes, both was fire. Because we got Hercules coming. And Hercules seemed like he going to be as strong as Thor. On that level. And then we got Jane going to Valhalla with Hemdale. And, you know, that was cool too. So, ending scenes was good, but overall, I gotta give this movie a 5 out of 7 stars. You do the math on that, it's around 70%. You know, it was just a cool movie. A cool movie because of the over-the-topness, really. But y'all let me know once you see it what you thought of Thor, Love and Thunder. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know what you thought. It's Mac the Guru. If you're still here, click that subscribe button, and always, y'all be easy, be safe. Peace.